Gentlemen, welcome to the Aquatheatre here at Hersheypark. Our show is about to begin in just a few moments.
Hello everybody, how's everyone doing today? Oh, that's pretty good. This is a pretty big crowd for our Halloween time because the weather is perfect. So, I'm going to tell you, our animals, they actually do know what the sound of your applause means. So the more energy all of you have today, they are going to pick up on that. So let's try that again. How's everyone doing today? There we go, that's much better. Welcome everyone to the Hersheypark Aquatheatre, the sweetest place on earth. Currently, we are the home to 2 California sea lions and 3 Atlantic harbor seals. We are dedicated to the field of marine mammal science and education, and of course, this is all with the help of our flippered friends. And speaking of those flippered friends, I'm excited to tell you about our first star you're going to get to meet today. This is our 4-year-old male Atlantic harbor seal. Right now he weighs a little over 100 pounds. I told you they know what applause means. Put those hands together for Cove. That is a great big hello from Cove. Excellent job. All right, I'm going to quiz all of you and see who is listening. Oftentimes people come here and they confuse seals and sea lions. So by a show of hands, how many of you out there think that Cove is a seal? All right, what about, now you can put your hands down, how many of you think he's a sea lion? All right, there's a lot of you that didn't raise your hand at all, but everyone who has their hands raised for sea lion, raise them really high. You are all wrong. He is a seal, but that's a really common thing that does happen. And I'm going to tell you, there are 3 easy ways to always tell the two apart. Now, the first one I'm actually going to point out is one of my favorites. It's how they move when they're up here on land. If you watch Cove, being a seal, seals spend their whole life on land on their bellies. So oftentimes when people see a seal, they laugh at them because he looks like a giant caterpillar. Now the second difference, now let me tell you about a sea lion. Now sea lions, they actually have an adaptation called a rotating hip bone. Sea lions do have the ability to rotate their back flippers under their bellies to walk on all 4s. Now the second difference is in their front flippers. If you look at Cove, being a seal, his front flippers are small. They're about the size of our hand. When he swims, he actually gets all the power from his back flippers. Those front flippers are used for steering, like a rudder on a boat. Now, seals can reach a burst speed up to 15 to 20 miles per hour. Sea lions, on the other hand, and you are going to get to meet one of our sea lions later on in the show, but sea lions' front flippers are actually very large. They're about the length of our arm. So when a sea lion swims, they use those big front flippers, reaching a burst speed up to 25 miles per hour. Now the last difference, it's really small, it's on the side of his head. You're going to look at their ears. About 1 inch behind Cove's eye, he has a little hole. Seals have internal ears, so that's all you can see is a little hole about 1 inch behind his eyes. Sea lions, they actually have a little ear flap. It kind of looks like a Tootsie Roll behind their eye. Now since I pointed out those differences, I hope no one ever confuses the two. You can all let Cove know he's doing a great job by putting those hands together for him. Now another fun difference that I'm going to point out, oftentimes people are used to what sea lions sound like. They roar like a lion and they live in the sea, and that's why they got the name sea lion. People often don't realize that seals also vocalize as well, but they do sound very different. Cove is trained to vocalize. Now since we're in an amusement park, it's quite loud, so I'm going to actually put the microphone up to him so you can all hear him. Good boy. It is very different. You are going to get to hear one of our sea lions talk later on, and he sounds very different than that. Cove did a great job. Can you let him know if I put those hands together for him? Now, a very commonly asked question here is a lot of you would like to know, how do you train these animals? The technique that we use, it is called bridge and target training. Now the bridge, it's the clicker you see located on the trainer's left wrist. If you all listen closely, you're going to be hearing a lot of these clicks today. Every time you hear a click, what that means to them is at that very moment, they've done a great job they're going to stop doing that behavior, return to their trainer because they know that some kind of reward is on its way. Now, to target, it simply means to touch. Our animals learn at a young age to target or touch the tip of their nose or any body part to a trainer's hand or to a target pole. Now I'm going to point out, Ricky's actually training Cove a brand new behavior right now. We're teaching Cove that we want him to give us a high five. And so we can actually utilize 2 targets. He knows how to target or touch his nose to the end of that bead, as well as any other body part. So what we're having him do is we're having him target his nose to the bead, and then we can have the other target touch that flipper. And what we want it to look like is Cove's going to jump out in the air, and he's going to be swatting that flipper, giving us a high five. He did a great job today. Can you send him off with a great big goodbye? Now we use a variety of reinforcements here. Fish is a primary reinforcer, but we also use a variety of secondary reinforcers, and that's anything that our animals enjoy. So depending on the animal, it could be a favorite toy that they like to play with, a back rub from a trainer that they trust, and why we ask for a lot of it, even your applause is a reward. So let's give Cove a great big reward today. Very good. Now the next star you're going to get to meet today, oftentimes people ask us, well, where do you get these animals from? It's very important to know. It is illegal to get a marine mammal out of U.S. waters, and it's been that way since 1972. When you see a marine mammal in a zoo or aquarium, oftentimes they were born there, they came from another facility, or there are rescued animals. Now the next animal you're going to get to meet, he's in fact one of our rescues. He was found at a couple months old, very malnourished and dehydrated off the coast of California. He did go to a local rescue center and provided around-the-clock care. The goal is obviously to get that animal back out into the ocean and thriving. Unfortunately, he did go back out, but he stranded 2 more times. After the 3rd time, he was deemed non-releasable by the U.S. government. He did not have the skills that he clearly needed to survive on his own in the wild. That is a great reason why zoos and aquariums exist. Without them, this handsome guy would not have a second chance at life. So he joined us in the spring of 2018. He turned 9 years old this summer. He weighs over 315 pounds. Make it nice and loud for Ripley. Very good boy, Ripley. Well, play behavior is very important for a juvenile animal. That's where they're going to learn the skills and reflexes needed later on in life. Training, it is a wonderful learning game, not only for juveniles, but for adult animals as well. That's where they're going to get the mental and physical stimulation that they need. What we're going to be doing right now, we're going to be turning off my microphone, turning up some fun music so you can watch these 2 play together. Please keep in mind, I told you earlier, the animals do know that when you cheer for them, that means they're doing a great job. So when you all see something you like, make it nice and loud for Ripley. that it actually is extremely dangerous to approach any animal out in the wild. And it is a law that you must stay 100 yards back, away from any wild marine mammal, and that is not only for your personal safety, it truly is for the safety of the animal. It is very important to remember, all the interactions that you are seeing today, they are only made possible by professional trainers that do work each and every day in establishing a very strong and trusting relationship with them. Can you all let Ripley know he did awesome by making it nice and loud for him? Excellent boy. Now, if any of you out there are looking for a fun souvenir from your day here at the park and you really enjoy our animals, immediately following the show, we are offering 2 opportunities for you. One, you can come down and feed one of our seal or sea lion stars, and we also have the opportunity where you can get a posed photo with one. So if you're interested in one or both, what you're going to do immediately following the show is actually just remain seated. After everybody else clears out, we'll jump back on the microphone and we'll go through the details and the pricing of those programs. Know that the proceeds go right back to caring for our animals and to our conservation efforts. Now at this time, before our last star joins us, I'd actually like to open the floor up for all of you and see if anyone out there has any questions, whether it's about our animals or our facility. If you do have a question, raise your hand up nice and high. I'll do my best to answer it for you. I'm really good at picking stuff up. Yep. All right, right there in the green. How can they see underwater? Yeah, they have very good eyes that are good for both above and below the surface of the water. They have a protective covering called a sclera. It's almost like they have built-in goggles. Very good question, right here in the front. How do you become a trainer? That's a really good question. We have the best job ever. So to become a trainer, you do have to go to college and get a 4-year degree in something animal related. The most common you're going to see is actually psychology. We study animal behavior, and that is really what psychology is. But you can do biology or zoology, so whatever interests you, but the main thing that you need is experience. You guys are all seeing the best part of our day, and that's interacting with our awesome animals. But you don't really realize all the hard work that goes into taking care of them. And majority of our day is spent cleaning. And so by doing internships and volunteering, you figure all of that out. Now, if there are any other questions, just come find one of us after the show, because I'm excited to tell you about our last little guy you're going to get to meet today. He is the newest and youngest addition to our family. He just turned 2 years old this summer. He joined our family from the New York Aquarium in early December. Put those hands together for Cruz. Really good boy, Cruz. Now, seals and sea lions are very well adapted to live both on the land as well as in the water. So they have some special adaptations that allow them to do so. If you use your imagination, they're actually shaped a little like a torpedo. That hydrodynamic body shape allows him to cut through the water very quickly without wasting any time or any energy. Now, another adaptation that they have is their very big eyes. So they actually have very good vision both above and below the surface of the water. Now I'm going to tell you, we're actually working on a brand new behavior with Cruz, and all of the training that you're seeing, it is completely voluntary. So our animals choose to participate, and we actually don't make them do a single thing here. So Ricky and Cruz are working on a new behavior, which is actually going up and touching that ball. So sometimes he's like, no thank you, and that's completely fine. We never make our animals do a single thing. So we'll see if we get back to it, but just know that Ricky might be working on that. I'll try to point it out when I see it. Obviously, you guys will notice as well. Another thing that we like to point out, they actually have whiskers on the side of their nose. They can voluntarily move those whiskers in and out. So if it were dark and murky in their environment and they can't see very well, those whiskers come out and they can sense vibrations in the water. Now, sea lions are also very, very flexible. They don't have a collarbone or a clavicle like we do, and they have extra vertebrae. They can nearly bend themselves in half. Let's all let Cruz know he's doing a really good job. Can you put those hands together for him? Very good. Well, to provide our animals with the best care possible, it is very important that we can provide medical attention in a comfortable setting. It's important that a trainer can evaluate each animal on a daily basis. by presenting their eyes, ears, mouth, nose, flippers, and even their tails. That is part of each animal's daily routine. This entire process is what is called husbandry training, and husbandry training makes any medical work restraint-free and comfortable for both the animal as well as the trainer. Some of the voluntary medical behaviors our animals know. We train them to open their mouths up nice and wide. We brush their teeth on a regular basis. We can do x-rays and ultrasounds. And one of my favorite behaviors to brag about, we can get a blood sample from their back flippers. In the wild, these guys live on average 10 to maybe 15. But in zoos and aquariums, we can nearly triple that. They can live into their late 20s, even into their early 30s. A huge part of that is that medical care that we can provide. Let's all let Cruz know he's doing great. Put those hands together for him. Really good boy. Well-accredited zoos and aquariums like Oceans of Fun and Zoo America, they play a pivotal role in saving species worldwide by inspiring conservation leadership. As human-caused obstacles like habitat loss, pollution, and climate change continue to impact all ecosystems, these accredited facilities have become safe havens for endangered and threatened animals. If you would like to learn more about our conservation efforts or how we continue to provide exceptional animal welfare, visit our website, oceansoffun.org, or follow us on any social media platform. Also remember, your Hershey ticket does include free admission at Zoo America. We encourage you to check them out as well. Now again, if there were any other questions, come find one of us. You're welcome to come down here. We'd be around here to ask us as many questions about the animals or our facility. More importantly though, please enjoy the rest of this beautiful day at Hershey Park. Goodbye everybody.